My name is Nick Hasso, and this is my perspective.
If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper.
Hey, my name is Nick Hasso, and this is my perspective episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about how to audition for a drum corps, being that it is October and drum corps auditions are right around the corner. So let's get right to it. Alright, the first thing when auditioning for a drum corps that you need to do is be musically prepared. And what I mean by that is make sure you know all the material that you're going to audition with. So for me, from my perspective, when I audition a bass drummer, I like to see if they know the snare part as well as the bass drum part. I feel that if you know the snare part, you'll be better prepared to fit your notes inside of a snare sound. And for those of you who are trying out for snare or tenors or cymbals or for an ensemble, making sure that you're musically prepared with all the material plus any solo material is always a good idea, and any kind of spree type material with a check pattern and some sort of rudiments involved to show off your vocabulary. Step number 2 in auditioning for a drum corps is to show up physically prepared. Make sure that you are in shape. It is a physical activity, and when you go to audition for a drum corps, they will try to push you to your breaking point. They want to see where you break, if you're able to break it, if they're able to break you at all. So show up physically prepared. Make sure you're working out your legs, your back, specifically your thighs, your calves, and your lower back, and your core. For those who are auditioning for cymbals, you obviously want to work out your shoulders and your arms. And then looking into that thing, it's like, the reason why they want you to show up physically prepared is because they're looking to make sure that you're not going to become tired and let the hands or the quality of sound be sacrificed over time because you're becoming physically fatigued. Cool. Step 3 in auditioning for a drum corps is to show up mentally prepared. And what I mean by that is in your time auditioning, you're going to show up and the staff, the instructional staff, the design team, or whoever is going to be throwing a lot of information your way, whether it be about technique or your ability or just musical parts, and your willingness and your capability to be receptive to that information and apply that information instantaneously and then keep that consistent throughout the rest of your audition is a huge step to your success in making it into a drum corps. So step 4 is to show up with a great personality. Those of us who are in the staff and you know, the design team, they're looking for people who show up with initiative. They're looking for people who are the ones helping unload equipment off the truck, whether it be their own or another section's equipment. They're looking for people who are, as soon as they step foot onto a campus, they are respectful of that and mindful of that and exemplify what that corps is looking for. Looking for classy people. We're looking for people who gel well within everyone else around them. We're looking for people who are always happy and upbeat and encouraging to those around them. So I think for, you know, a lot of the weight that goes into us actually making a decision on someone being within the ensemble comes from that person's personality. So step 4 is really a really big key. So make sure you're showing up there with a really humble, really great, and really driven personality so the staff can see that. The 5th step in auditioning for a drum corps is to make sure that you show up looking as best as you can to the technique and the style that that corps uses. So for example, say Santa Clara Vanguard and their marching technique. If you're auditioning for that corps, you should watch a lot of videos because they have a very unique marching style. Or if you're auditioning for a certain instrument, look on YouTube or some kind of, you know, media means where you can see those ensemble styles and do your best to mimic those things, because at the end of the day, us as staff want to be as lazy as we can be. Even though no staff member is lazy, they want to make their job as easy as possible. So if you already look the part, that's already half the battle to them. So it's going to be much easier to get someone who is already looking the part to look exactly the way they want. So step 5 is to make sure you show up to the auditions being as prepared as you can be to look the part of whatever corps it is you're auditioning for. So those are the 5 steps in auditioning for a drum corps. I hope you found some sort of insight or maybe some helpful information in this video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And my name is Nick Hasso, and this was my perspective.
Cause if you catch me at the border,